Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to one of my replays, and yeah, it's the ISU. Now this is relevant because a reason that a large number of my new subscribers are here is because of an ISU replay that was featured on Jingle's channel. Now unlike that game, which was my very first ISU game, this is one where I have the big gun, the BL-10, the monster cannon. It's a bit ridiculous. It even just looks ridiculous. But yeah, the stats are even more ridiculous. 286 average pen with just regular AP on a tier 8 anything. It's silly. It is. It is just silly. Now, this is actually going to be my ace tanker game, and we're going to get to see what it takes to get an ace tanker in this thing. And it's a pretty nice match. It's pretty nice matchmaking, but the matchmaking doesn't actually matter so much. Not with this gun. It really doesn't. You basically get this gun. It's the exact same gun on the tier 9, obviously with some better gun handling stats and a better reload. But it is just, frankly, ridiculous. Now, the journey to get to this gun, I didn't actually grind it out all the way. I played some games with the stock derp gun. I even tried a couple of games with the 122mm gun that you get from the ISU-152, which has 175 average pen. That's not very good on a tier 8 tank destroyer. So what I ended up doing was my largest ever conversion to free XP. I had a bunch of XP sitting on the tier 7 VK3002D, and I thought, I'm never ever gonna buy that tank again. I'm never gonna want to grind through that again, because I did. I got partway through grinding, I had about 40,000 experience on it, and I just gave up on that tank. It's one of the only grinds I've ever just flat out given up on. So that's been sitting there for a long time, and I thought to myself, finally, you know what, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use that for this gun, because with the stock derp, I mean, I had some fun matches, but it was going to be a long grind. So there we go, that's that gun in action. 707 damage, and that's a low roll. That's actually not that low, you know, the average is 750, so it's not ridiculously low, but it's slightly low. All the same, it really took a big chunk out of that T32. And there's why we call it the troll cannon. That wasn't really very aimed, and you can see there the gun depression on this gun is not particularly fantastic. So I'm having to take snapshots, and with 286 pen at close range it doesn't matter that much, but it's still possible to have some troll bounces with this thing. It is basically known as the troll cannon because, yeah, it can take big chunks out of the enemy, but it can also do things you don't want it to do at very inopportune moments. So I've wrecked that T32, and I take a look at the minimap, and we have got the hill, but the rest of the map is looking a bit... The tanks that all went over towards the cap, they're looking a bit surrounded. Or they're going to get surrounded in short order. And I also think to myself, maybe the Rheinmetall or the ISU is going to come up. So in preparation for seeing the Rheinmetall, I load up an HE shell. And the T21 that's there, yeah, I was being a bit cautious because I didn't know if the Rheinmetall was right behind the T21 or what. But I decided I was going to play it safe. And of course, when I went to go over, he very hastily backed away. An HE shell would have been more than enough for him anyway, but hello, there's a Rheinmetall. I didn't know if he was going to peek from the A line or the B line, given where he was last spotted, but as it turns out, he went up that street, and I'm just going to see if he's going to be stupid enough to actually, you know, go right in front of my gun. And yes, is the answer to that. So HE, the reason I picked that, I knew he had enough health from that little peek that he took. I knew he had enough health that I could one-shot him with a regular AP, but it wasn't a guaranteed thing. So with HE, with his armour, that was, you know, I had the time to reload HE. So that's why I chose HE for that guy, because I knew it was going to do some serious damage. Even not hitting him in the gun shield, even hitting his armour, even exploding in his tracks, it probably would have done a fair whack of damage. I can't remember offhand what the pen is on these HE shells, but it's probably fairly decent. Now, there's a T21, and yeah, you got to wait once, but not this time, buddy, not this time. That was frankly mean. That was just bullying, frankly. That's a T21 versus this gun. I mean, yeah, I'm bad and I should feel bad is basically the gist of this. This gun at tier 8 is just stupid. It is. It's ridiculous. Oh, low health kill. Can I get him? Can I get him? No, no, okay. The aim time on this, I mean, it turns like a pig, and the aim time's not great, and the reload is actually about the same as the derp gun, so it's not like this is, it's not a particularly high, actually it might be a high DPM machine with these shots, I don't know, it fires about 4 rounds a minute anyway, so it's not like you're pumping out shell after shell, is what I'm trying to get at, but the overall DPM is probably still pretty decent with this gun. So the enemy team, I mean, our team are a little bit scattered, but the enemy team are basically concentrated in a pocket. And hello! Yes, you have troll armor, but not so much at the back. No. No. The enemy team is, yeah, they're now surrounded. There's not many of them left, even though our VKB is sitting on the hill sniping, which is not the best life choice. We still are comfortably winning this now. It's not that much ahead in numbers, but, yep. I'm actually just going to auto-aim just to get it dead centre, and yep, 6-12, that was pretty much always going to be a kill. Tiger 2, can I get him for a top gun, because I've got 5 kills now? Nope. I wasn't reloaded anyway, so, you know, by the time I reloaded and aimed, he was very definitely already dead. Very unsportingly, he went out in the open. But the remaining 2 Tiger 2s might have some health between them, so we'll see. There's one that was last spotted on the 1 line, and he's still there. I can see he's got the stock turret, so he won't have the top gun. So I can just sit in here. Even if he does hurt me, I've still got full health, so I can afford to take the hit. There's a big shot into him. 692, again slightly below average, but when you're doing that much damage per shot, it doesn't really, you know, you can't really complain about it unless RNG particularly screws you. Now somebody else hits him. I would have had to roll high to finish him off with 1 shell, but somebody else hit him, and so that only had to be about 400 odd damage, which, you know, is a guaranteed kill with this gun. So there's one last Tiger 2, and it's actually the Tiger 2 that the enemy team was complaining about being a bot. And you can see there, the enemy team actually saying he's in whatever it was, J7. So he has clearly done something to invoke the ire of his team. And if you see where he's parked, well, he may not be a bot, he may just be a very, very bad player. But yeah, this was his contribution to the team, basically. So if I roll high, I might have him. It's going to have to be a very high roll. And it is a high roll, but it's only 8 above average, so yeah. That's my only above average roll in this entire battle. So no extra kill, but that was another 758 damage. And that brought me to a total of over 5,000. 5,500 in fact. So, as you can see, as I mentioned at the start, that was an ace tanker, top gun, high caliber, Reaper medal, I got a bruiser, and I think that's, I'm not sure what the other one is, fire for effect or something like that. 100% hit rate, 5,512 damage. Obviously I bounced one on the T32, but yeah, looking at the actual base XP, 1,615. Honestly, I was surprised that that was an ace tanker. I mean, it's certainly better than anyone else in the team did, but for this gun, for this machine, given the fact I only shot 1 tier 9 in the whole battle, that most of my targets were tier 8 and even of course that tier 6 scout, that seems kind of low for an ace tanker. Maybe I just got lucky on this particular week that the requirements were lower than one would think they would be, given the nature of this machine. But given that you get an XP bonus for shooting at high tiers, and given that this thing can obviously see a lot of tier 9s and tier 10s potentially, yeah, I would think that you would need much better XP than that. I would have said you would need kind of 1800 plus, just, you know, at a guess. But apparently, no, on this particular day, in this particular week, 1615 was sufficient for an ace tanker. So, it was a bit cheap maybe, but there you go. There's my ace tanker with the big gun. And I have to say, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of enjoying it. Obviously, it's a big troll cannon, but I'm not going to hang on to the ISU. It feels a bit too troll, to be honest. Once I get the Object 704 with obviously the same gun but better stats and worse matchmaking, being a tier 9, I think that might be a keeper. We'll see when I get there. That looks like an interesting machine. But the ISU just feels a bit too troll at tier 8, frankly. But yeah, I'm not quite sure you would want to grind it with any other gun than this one, given that this is what is available. And I don't think it's going to be a long grind considering that this gun is available. So, if you enjoyed this replay, you can hit the like button, you can leave any comments below, you can subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for more.